let me turn our attention back to our daytime demo king.
16 TJ.
And this is not at all in response to you finishing up yesterday's show and the manner in which we finished it up. Because I do appreciate you bringing up my take from last fall when Giannis was making his decision on does he stay in Milwaukee long term, does he not? And if he didn't want to stay long term in Milwaukee, just wanted to do a year to year, I was taking that as, saying that the indication, if I was the Bucks, would say get him out. You got to get him out, because if he's not committing long term, the 1 year by 1 year thing just doesn't work. And get him out and get whatever you can in return. And the number of times I said, if I was the Miami Heat, who just made it to the NBA Finals with a core like Dragic and Tyler Hero and, that entire crew that we saw with Jimmy Butler, I would never do it. I would not trade the young core for Giannis. And you brought that up yesterday, that take up yesterday, and I thanked you for that because I think I surprised you with my response, did I not?
You did. I mean, and that's what I like about you, because a lot of these hosts on shows like this, they make these wild claims, and they say this stuff that's just so outrageous and really just so dumb. And I'll be honest with you, in the real moment here, Brockman will tell you, I haven't really been a fan of sports talk radio for a long time because of a lot of these talks. So for me personally, and this is in all honesty, the fact that you did say what you said and took back one of your takes, like, I really admire that about you.
I didn't take it back. I didn't take it back.
Well, you acknowledged it. It was,
owned it.
You owned it.
For those just watching right now, I owned that my take of I would not trade my young core if I was Miami for Giannis. I called it my worst take.
You did.
In the history of this show that's going to be turned 7 in October. Whew. My worst take. Absolutely worst take.
Yeah. Like I said, I respect you for that, because most people in your spot don't do that.
And I wanted to come on the show. I literally made a mental note as the Bucks swept the Heat out. As I'm walking around the house, like, hey, I got to talk about this Tuesday. I have to own it. And then I find out that TJ was thinking about tweeting at me when this happened.
It was
and going to the Twitterverse, where things can kind of go sideways
quick
when you hit send, right? Instead of coming at me on the show, he was going to tweet at me, and there's a totally different at right there.
But what did I do?
You said you erased it.
I deleted the tweet, and I came at you.
And you came at me.
Yeah.
At the very end of the show.
That's what I do.
Which, interestingly enough, you probably didn't know, took up the final remaining time that I was going to use on this, which was yesterday. Mike Del Tufo is a big day in music history. It was yesterday was let me get this right, it was the 54th anniversary of the United States release date of Sgt. Pepper's.
Oh, great album.
I mean, incredible album, and I appreciate your snap analysis right there. Great album. And one of the most famous album covers, right?
Yes.
And we, on the Rich Eisen Show, have uncovered an original copy of it that never made the release in the United States. Can you put it up, Mike Hoskins? Do you notice somebody new that's right there to the left of the drum? Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band?
Yeah.
It's TJ behind the podium on The Price is Right.
That picture.
I mean, now, we all knew Sgt. Pepper's was ahead of its time, right? I mean, like, that's part of your analysis. If I gave you more time, other than great album.
I mean, it's it's amazing album.
Way ahead of its time.
I got exclusive audio from the album, an outtake that TJ actually did.
Interesting. That's part of Carry That Weight. Exactly. That was part of Carry That Weight that they cut out.
It was cut out. Yeah.
You never give me your number over 40. You never take the second to the right key.
It is not getting better. It's not getting better.
I'm telling you.
So I appreciate you bringing up what you brought up yesterday, TJ. You know, in retrospect,
TJ in the sky.
TJ in the sky with Katie, who went double over.
Yes.
That's in parentheses, double over.
Hey, so let me ask you guys a question
when
about
I'm double over.
let me ask you guys a question about this because I was watching Price is Right on Monday. It came down to the finals, and both guys, they overbid, double overbid again. But here's the deal: they both overbid by like no more than $2,500. So my question is this: would you rather, if you're gonna go out like that, would you rather go out monumentally like I did and don't have to worry about the fact that you may have messed up, or would you rather? It's kind of like, would you rather get blown out?
I was about to say this is the game show version of Brockman's cockamamie.
Yeah, would you rather get blown out, or would you rather lose a close
have
game?
Your team blown out? If you knew the result, which we of course don't know, would you rather your team be blown out or suffer a heartbreaking close defeat? And I say I'd rather always to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I want the close defeat, the gutting end, like say UCLA getting knocked out by Gonzaga this year, which is the last time we had this conversation on this show. As you know, there's always going to be a gut-wrenching loss that allows us to recycle Brockman's trash.
Wow, that's harsh.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
I just went there. I thought, do I say that word? What goes with recycling?
That's aggressive.
But that's the question. Would you rather lose big like I did or lose like these two guys both lost within 2,000? So here's the deal. I went over so much that I'm not thinking about it all the time. Like, I lost. I can have fun with this. But if I would have lost, if I went over by like $2,000 and you guys kept trash talking, I might feel a little differently about it. But because I lost by so much, that it's like it's kind of funny. So what would you rather have happen?
You know what? I'd rather have won the showcase.
Well, obviously
that's not the choice that you're giving
me. There. You're like someone on Twitter when we put up a poll question.
The fact that you're no longer thinking about it.
No, I think about it.
Okay, but you just said you're not thinking about it as much.
But I'm not kicking myself, is what I'm saying.
Do you know who is kicking yourself or kicking that whole
Who's
loss?
That?
I think it was McCartney or was it Lennon? Right there.
When I bid 44.
Behind the
when
Liverpool.
Bid 44.
And you know, them looking like that they were so sullen right there. There was an idea that Paul was in fact dead. Remember that? I buried Paul instead of they said cranberry sauce. Maybe it was them mourning the loss of T.J. Jefferson's master key play.
You know what's crazy? Because on Twitter,
years ago,
somebody hit me up and they asked me how I'm getting through this, like losing. And I said, you know what? I said, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. That's how I'm doing it.
Telling you key 3 or 4.
The same friend that reminds me of my worst take of all time.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
But maybe you should just own it like I owned my worst take of all time.
Maybe when I'm 64.
I'm just trying to show you the way.
Maybe when I'm 64.
Band. We're still here, everybody. Well done, Smitch.
This is very fun.
It does look like it belongs right there in this pop culture sort of...
I'm telling you, that is the
tapestry.
If you had no knowledge of...
Yes, that's true.
...of this band or this album cover and you just looked at it, you're like...
That belongs there.
Yeah, I don't see what the issue... There's nothing out of place here.
It's a picture that keeps on giving.
Yep. My favorite one was recently seeing TJ 3 times underneath the basket as LeBron made the shot to beat the Warriors. Game was over. Right? He's everywhere.
And it confused me when I bid 44.
Nice.
Hey, it's just a day in the life of TJ. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
hey.
look, we're just on fire right now.
A day in the life.
We are really just totally on fire.
Sergeant TJ's Lonely Hearts Club.
All right, Mike, you blew it.
He did blow it. He always go one step
one too many.
Everybody does that.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.